Welcome to the No Budget Indie Filmcast, where we dip into the independent film universe to highlight those little films that you might not have heard about elsewhere. Will you agree with our panel? Will our panel agree with each other? Tune in to find out. I am Milo Dennison, and with me, as always, is Claire Milan
Hello.
and Carl Feeney.
Hello.
All right, Claire, what are we watching this week?
So this week we sat down to watch a film called Big Ears. It's written and directed by Sam Barron, and it's starring this amazing actor called Amit Shah. It's about a struggling actor who finds out he has cancer and is forced to confront his life choices. I thought it's very interesting. I think this actor, Amit Shah, possibly they're not prosthetic ears because he has these big ears. And he seems to work in like a health food shop, and he gets this call saying that he's cancer, and he's trying to process the information. And you don't realize at first, and then he goes home, and he's waiting on audition himself. His friend he hasn't seen in a while arrives into his house and says he's got this massive break in a film with Meryl Streep. And then probably a bit of a spoiler alert, but Amit Shah or Kaan, he gets a call saying he didn't get a part. So his friend has this massive news of getting the part, and Kaan has this terrible news of having cancer and not getting a part. And I actually loved this film. I loved the setup of it, the way it showed, it kind of established his world at first and his big ears. And this girl in the health food shop who he fancies, and she comes in with a teddy bear with big ears as well. He's so self-conscious of them. And I just loved the way it was filmed and acted, and it's probably, touch wood, I've never had an experience like getting a diagnosis like that, but looking at the comments underneath, people who had cancer are saying that is very realistic of how they deal with the news. And even I know as an actor, do you know the way you're struggling, and so to get stuff, and then your friend or something gets a massive part, you go through that conflict, you go through that, oh, I'm so happy for you. But, so that was kind of interesting with him and his friend, just the whole contrast and conflict in that. I really enjoyed it. I think this was nominated, won a few awards from a BAFTA qualifying festival. But it was really well filmed, and you could tell that a lot of money was put into this as well. It was just really well filmed. I think this actor is a well-known actor as well. I think he's been in a few things, like well-known things. But yeah, so what do you guys think of it?
Yeah, I'm with you, Claire. His performance is really fantastic because he tells you so much without saying it. Like you said, he gets the call and you see his reaction to the call, and then you see kind of his actions that he's doing after before he even says what it is. So you know it's something bad, and then when he's at work with the girl and how he wants to talk to her, but he doesn't. And then when his friend comes over and he's like, I don't want to deal with this, but I'm going to. And so he's just got so much going on and all these emotions that and he plays it like he's trying to fight it back, but it's just wants to come out, and like the way his voice cracks at points and stuff, and absolutely an amazing performance from this actor.
It just shows you how like a brilliant actor, like some actors would overdo that, but it's so internal and so subtle and so real. Like his performance is phenomenal in this.
Yeah, and I'm like, as an actor, I'm so jealous of his performance and be like, man, I want to be able to put on a performance like that. Like, yeah.
Well, Milo, you're going the right way there now with the ears you have on
With the headphones I got going
Yeah,
on, my big earmuffs.
That's the start. Yeah, you kind of bet in some prosthetic ears there or something. Actually, the funny thing is, I didn't until he mentioned it. I know it was called Big Ears, but until he mentioned it at the start, I didn't really notice, And after he mentioned it, I got, oh my God, like, he does have big ears, and I couldn't stop looking at them for about a minute. But what I didn't realize, I didn't fully realize until I read afterwards the description that it's a comedy drama, or it's a comedy. Because even when I was watching it, I thought, this is funny. This is quite funny. Should I be laughing? Is it appropriate to laugh here?
Yeah.
And I thought there was some really good gags, like for instance, there's a scene there with he talking to his friend, and his friend has this brilliant news and everything. And I said, "So what's your news?" I've got cancer. And I thought that's a really good line. That's a great line,
Isn't it? And
But
the way he
what?
delivered it, the way he just kind of
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out, and then his friend has this massive news, and the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
like juxtaposition of them, I thought that was so well
yeah,
done.
yeah. And it was really funny, and it was so played, like so underplayed, that
Mm.
and that the rest of the film was like that. So it was. I'm glad that was vindicated. That actually, yes, it was a comedy, and it was great. Performances all around, and it was, good sort of messaging there. Like, for instance, the whole ears thing, that he has this obsession with his ears, and it's often the case that you might be obsessed with something about yourself, but nobody else even notices.
Mm.
And then he gets that kind of, at the end, he gets that nice little comment
And you know what I
from his
love? The
little
fact that he
company.
got this devastating news, and devastating news as well, that he didn't get the part he was hoping to get of a person, spoiler alert, playing cancer. It was like the Charlie Chaplin competition. Charlie Chaplin looked like competition. Charlie Chaplin didn't win. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
Oh,
And I just thought it was like, okay, now he can ask the girl out, because what else does he have to lose? I That was lovely. And she didn't see his big ears. It's like, that lovely line at the end, just
yeah,
little
yeah,
things like that. It just like, God, it just hit you. Do you know what I mean? I even called it probably. Did you feel emotional over
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I really thought, it was a great final,
Yeah,
last line.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. Because it ended it without like
Mhm.
giving you too much, but also, sometimes when a film ends and it tries to like end on a cliffhanger or something like that, it had that nice little perfect last little bit. And
Mhm.
yeah, you don't necessarily know what happens next in his life, but
Mhm.
but you still are happy with the way it ended, which is fine.
yeah. But it's also it's also funny that, like, he learned he had this, very serious illness, this cancer, and he in a typical way, people that they realize, oh my God, life is finite, I should, and you sort of have these regrets, and you don't want to leave it regrets, and that sort of inspired him to, like, say what he said.
Yeah,
But I suppose there is a lesson there, like, what, you shouldn't wait. Don't be waiting for
exactly. Mhm.
something like, only you're at death's door before you make those decisions. Always try to have perspective.
Mhm. I
Um,
think with the character, I'd love to see this as a series. It could be a beautiful series, because you're so invested in the character's story. That's what most of the people in the comment section said as well. Like, I'd love to see more of this character. I love these filmmakers to bring back this in some way. It could be a lovely series about this man who has this cancer diagnosis and trying to navigate life. Like, there's so many avenues like the writer can go down with this, I think.
So they collaborated on a few short films, actually. I don't
Mm.
think it was the same character that
Okay.
he played, but I do know the writer director and this particular actor did
Mm.
collaborate on a few short films.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting to watch the other films and kind of see what they do, because he's so engaging as a performer that you really do want to see more of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm, okay.
yeah, I mean, I did check out the IMDb, and I think he was involved in some you know, very well known, like,
Mhm.
programs that I recognize but I haven't seen.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna find it
People seem
here.
familiar with them. People in the comment section. I wasn't familiar with them, but he seems to be familiar to some people. Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah, me
the other
neither,
guy
but
too.
yeah.
Um, what's he name? Happy Valley. There. I mean, I've
That's
seen.
massive. He was in that. So I haven't watched Happy Valley. It's on my list of things to watch. It's on the RT player, so I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
that.
um, Death in Paradise. He was in one episode of that as well. So, um, yeah. So he's obviously, he's on the way up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
And we've now discovered him. So now that he's
Yes.
been mentioned
exactly.
on our show, it'll boost him to that next level.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Randomly as well. Before we came on, I decided to find out, do people with bigger ears have better hearing? And all things being equal, the answer is yes.
Really?
Is
So
yes?
yeah,
Seriously?
yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Well,
interesting
I
fact.
mean, there are other factors like genetic, or like you might have some, I don't know, smaller ear canal or something like that. But the bigger surface area, is better. It can trap more sound, and so this probably is an evolutionary reason, why some people have bigger ears than others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did not know that.
Mm.
Well, there's your
Like,
fact of the day, audience.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. No, but like I said, I mean, until if they hadn't have pointed it out, I would have been oblivious to it
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah, I agree. They're certainly a little bigger. And yeah, I kind of wonder if they put something behind them to kind of push them forward a little bit as well to
Yeah.
make them stand out a bit more.
Yeah,
But
yeah, and
certainly
Milo,
not.
that's brilliant. Like, that's great for his sort of self-esteem. Now you're thinking that they must have made them bigger, like, because they're absolutely massive.
That big. They're not that big.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
that big. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. They're
Yeah.
not. I mean, I
In
guess
fact, the
if
more
you
we say it, like, it's probably worse.
Yeah.
If you're watching this,
All right.
yeah,
If he's
we
friends with
protest too
the actor,
much.
you can imagine a
Yeah, yeah,
director posting him,
yeah,
sorry, do you mind if I make a film about
yeah,
your big ears? Do you know?
yeah, yeah.
He'll so
Oh
self-conscious.
yeah.
Like,
Well, obviously
I
he's got a
like
sense of
those
humor
things.
about them himself.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah,
must. I mean, he agreed to do the film, right?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And even to continue the years concept, like it was barely mentioned. Uh, like you can see the way he mentioned it, like a couple of times. Oh, it must be because of my ears. It's an obsession with him. Um, but like obviously, he is the only one who was obsessed by it. Obviously, I mean that's kind
I
of
think I
obvious,
love
but
the start of it when the girl brings in the teddy and the ears are
yeah,
really like his. Like it's just a
yeah,
really good, like comedic moment that kind of
mhm,
grabs you. And then the
yeah,
more serious bit comes.
yeah,
Mm.
Hmm.
yeah.
Because you
It's
don't
almost like he
know,
thinks
like,
he has cancer because of his ears, like yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The thing with the little bear too, which is kind of fun because you don't really know if it's like an insult or a compliment, right? Because we don't
Yes.
really find out how she feels, and
Yeah.
so it's just like, hey, I was at the fair with this guy. I saw this that reminded me of your giant ears here, and it's like, thank you, like kind
Yeah.
of one of those. I don't, are you insulting me in some way by showing this out?
yeah.
So if you're self conscious about it, it probably would make you feel a little worse, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, let's do the ratings then. Call, you want to go first?
I'll go first. Yeah. Yeah. I really like this film. It was a nice script, nice little story, perfect, perfect ending. Uh, and I will give it 4.5 stars.
Ooh, not quite a five, huh?
No.
I'm with you. I really like this film, and as an actor, I absolutely loved his performance, and can really appreciate it. Across the board, I think it's fantastic. So I'm actually going to go 5 stars. I'm going to go just a bit higher.
Mm.
Yeah. So for me, it's a beautiful story, beautifully written, amazingly acted. I really want to see this actor again. I kind of a lovely message in it as well about not being self-conscious about things in ourselves. I'm gonna give it 5 stars as well.
All right.
There you have it, Filmcast audience. We really enjoyed this film. You can check it out. It's called Big Ears, in case you don't
Yeah.
remember from our conversation about the guy's ears.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you can always let us know what you think on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at No Budget Show. On the web, we're at nobudgetfilmmakers.com. And with that, we'll say see you next time and goodbye.
Bye.
But